Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. My name is Rich Tehrani, and on our program today is Joe Staples, who is the CMO of Interactive Intelligence. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So, Joe, you and I have known each other now, I think it's at least, what, 15 years, something like that?
Probably, yeah.
That's a long time, and you've been at Interactive doing some great things over the last few years.
Yep.
And a lot of exciting news announcements, and one of the areas that I know is really big in the industry is just this cloud-based communications. I mean, we've seen the cloud take over data centers, and what's going to happen with cloud-based communications going forward?
You know, I think our opinion is that we're going to see communications ride that same wave to the cloud that storage has, that a lot of the things that we're seeing in messaging, CRM, communications is going to follow that same pattern.
Now, are there any reasons why communications wouldn't? Like, are there any challenges that communications has that, let's say, storage might not?
You know, I don't think there's any technical challenges that can't be overcome. I think there are some things culturally and the way businesses actually operate, different business models. And everything won't go to the cloud. You know, there will still be a lot of premise-based deployments. But economically, it makes sense for a lot of different companies. So, you know, lower or no upfront capital expenditures, the ability to deploy the solution more rapidly, more rapid access to new features and new functionality. So there's really kind of this lineup of a number of different things that really make this at least something that we think just about every company is going to at least evaluate as a deployment option.
Now, do companies need more bandwidth if they decide their communication should live in the cloud?
You know, I think it depends on the deployment model. So for us, we deploy utilizing an MPLS connection between the data center and the customer site, but the customer can still keep their telco lines or their SIP trunks coming into their site, and then if they keep the voice traffic all down inside of their firewall and inside of their domain, bandwidth really doesn't become much of an issue.
So that's good news. Security. Now, probably the biggest concern in the old days was, what is the difference in having my communications in the cloud from a security standpoint? What are your thoughts on that?
Every customer that we talk to, that's still a concern. They're relinquishing some control, and with that, giving up of that control, they want to know, is the voice secure? Are my call recordings secure? And we've done some things that I think are pretty creative and innovative to address those. For one, we virtualize the environment in the data center. So every one of our customers is in an isolated, running on an isolated virtualized machine. So instead of using multi-tenancy where different customers are sharing servers, we virtualize and set up virtualized servers for each individual customer. One of the other key things that we do around security is to keep all of the call recordings, or give customers the option to keep all of the call recordings inside of their firewall, as well as to keep all of the voice traffic inside of their firewall. So instead of pushing that up to the data center or down from the data center, where, you know, there are other challenges and intrusion possibilities, we keep it all inside the control of the customer's firewall and data center.
Now, are there any particular industries that lend themselves more to a hosted approach?
You know, maybe a little bit just from the standpoint of how forward-thinking they are, how strategic they look at not focusing so much on IT, but focusing on their core business. So for us, we've seen a lot of traction in financial services. Healthcare, I think, is the second vertical for us as far as communications as a service adoption.
Okay, that's really interesting. Now, how about internationally? Are there more people outside the U.S. that are interested in
You know, I don't know if it would be categorized as more, but I think there's some great opportunities internationally as well. North America is where we started, mainly because it's the core part of our business. But using us as an example, we're expanding into other areas, both in Europe and in APAC.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you being on the program today, and this was wonderful learning about your thoughts on communications as a service.
Thank you.